Welcome to the Pillar of Autumn. It's the first level in Halo Combat Evolved, and it looks a bit different since the last time you probably played it. There's more junk, debris, secrets, crabs, and whatever these things were in the original game. Or those things. There's also open windows so you can see the nice Covenant ships attacking from outside. The original game only had a handful of windows, like on the bridge at the Pillar of Autumn and when you see the life pods getting blown up. In the original level, there were actually plans to have a lot more action going on outside the ship, but in the rush to get the game done on time, a lot of that extra detail had to be dropped. And, you know, the original game never really did give you a good look at the Covenant's fleet or their boarding craft, did it? The Pillar of Autumn's view always faced towards the Halo ring in the first level, with the attacking Covenant fleet supposedly right behind you, just out of view, which, to be fair, did inadvertently give the opening level some spookiness. Like they were already caught up and boarding the Pillar of Autumn before you could get a good look at who they even were, you know? The extra detail, action, and scale kind of reminds me a bit of Cairo Station from Halo 2. It's less spooky intense than the original, but it trades a lot of that for a larger scale battle to set the opening of the game, which I think folk will like. There's a big effort to kind of embellish the Pillar of Autumn with details, little stories, and signs of the way this new take on the ship operates, both during the Covenant siege, and maybe when aliens aren't attacking. Remember that technician that wakes you up from cryosleep in the original game? The guy with the yellow jumpsuit that says, "This way!" in one of my favorite funny line reads?
This way!
Well, yeah, he's still here. And he got a pretty crazy glow up. Like, really crazy. He's also still voiced by Ken Boynton, who did the original. So now you get to hear him exhausted with your antics in 4K, while he's trying to get you to stand on that damn square.
Stand on the red square, please. Sir, I need you to look at me so we can begin.
What is an interesting change is how he now has this little tablet that he stole from Halo Infinite. The tablet displays the Chief's vitals and systems, and he sort of taps on it and carries it around the room with him as he helps you get through the tutorial. He really likes this tablet. Maybe he has games installed on it. He even carries it with him out into the hallway where there he goes. The Pillar of Autumn's tech, computers, are a bit different from the original game, but in a way that I think is sorta neat. The original game's UNSC was this blend of cassette futurism, 80s sci-fi movies, and anime, while the remake opts to drop most of the anime influences and instead lean hard into the cassette futurism and 80s sci-fi angle. Computers have this green tint to them with scan lines, grain, noise, and the text sort of reads out like a command line rather than a polished up user interface. Terminals and consoles feel like IBM computers or VCRs or something you might see from the Aliens movies. It's all very retro, very, very retro. More retro in some areas than even the original Halo. There's still a bit of that Halo Infinite Visor OS design for the UNSC terminals, but it's taken a back seat to this more retro look, and I quite like it. Kinda makes me wish the ammo counters on the assault rifle and battle rifle got the same treatment, so they felt a bit more retro as well. You can see on the bridge of the Pillar of Autumn where they kept the naval aspect of the battle stations and Navy plotting screens. Keyes' dashboard has been fully remodeled in this new UNSC style. There's even extra little bits, like this cool futuristic set of, projector reel things plugged in. There's a battle table in the back, which was actually pulled from Bungie's own concept art for the bridge, and it even has a hologram emitter that's designed to look kinda like an old school projector. Look at this thing. This thing's cool. Even that board is still here. In the original, the board had a virtual keyboard pulled up on it, so I think the implication was always that it was some sort of interface or something. But you can see here that they made it a lot more clear that this is supposed to be a screen of some kind, with a neat little scan line going down it. I also like this bit here. The alarm sound Bungie pulled from the work stock sound library is still here too, though they cut it up so it only sounds off every 2 seconds or so. I saw some people complaining about it and wishing that it just blared constantly, but I think the reason this was done was because the original didn't really have an audio engine that carried and occluded sound in a realistic way through doors, around rooms, and down halls. It just sort of faded the sound when you moved away from it. Imagine like 5 or 6 of these guys bombarding you all at once on top of all the other noises reverberating and traveling around the environment from the room you're in or distant rooms. The breakup in the alarm was probably honestly done for the sake of cleaning up the audio soundscape in the new, more advanced audio engine. But what about clearing up the sound of that hungry tummy? Well, Marines can eat in the Cafeteria, which is conveniently located right next to the command bridge, just like the original game. And I'll be honest, the Cafeteria's probably seen better days, but I think the Marines can get a pass considering, everything that's going on at the moment. One of my favorite details in the original is looking at all the yummy, tasty options the Marines had to pick from. I mean, dude, they had turkey dinner, hamburger dinner, cheeseburger, hot dog, meatloaf, whatever the chef's special is. And that doesn't even count the 12 drink options to pick from. One of which was, again, whatever the chef's special is. After you selected your option, you just stick your hand through that push flap to get your selection, sort of like a vending machine. You pick a table, maybe next to that guy right there, and when you were done, you just dump the tray into any number of tray chutes. So I was excited to check out the Cafeteria in Campaign Evolved, and the UNSC's selection of food is shockingly poor here. Marines can select Nort protein bars, of course MOA burgers with a side of nuggets, Gedunk chips, 2 fish tacos whose mascot is Frank. Hey, I love that guy. And Jim Dandy's hot dog dinner. But that's it. That's all they got to eat. And when you look at the drink options, it's even more dour. It's only Gauze lemonade. Not even water. And look at this. Look at the calorie count. 1,200 calories for a protein bar? At first I thought I was going crazy until Rebecca reminded me that these are military rations, not civilian food options. And yeah, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. Oh yeah, and look at this detail. So the Marines of Halo 1 must have gotten their hands caught in those push flaps a lot, because in the remake, the new food dispensers have a handle that you open up towards you before reaching in to get your food and then closing. In fact, safety seems to be a much bigger concern in the remake than the original. You can see each of these food vending machines has its own safety inspection sticker. Here's another interesting detail. So thanks to the power of the Unreal Engine 5, the tray chute has been turned into a maintenance chute. So that leaves the question, where do you put your tray? Clearly not in the maintenance chute unless your tray broke down or something, I don't know. I found a tray here, so I thought, maybe you stack them in front of the vending machines? But what if you're blocking the little flap and Marines can't get their food? Like, what if a hungry Marine is sitting at a table, maybe next to that guy? Hey, he's still here. And he wants to get up and get, an 800 calorie banana, and he just can't because there's a stack of trays in the way. Moving on from the Cafeteria, if you go down to the place where poor Sam gets blasted, a group of elites, just like the original, are seen being sad that they couldn't get to you before the UNSC woke you up. It's funny because you can see the elites switching back and forth between their Halo Reach idle stances and trying to shoot the player. There's a couple other neat little details. In the hallway that the Covenant boarding craft breaches, a staff of Caduceus was added to the wall at its entrance, which, hey, I just learned that's the universal symbol for healing. A bunch of overturned hospital gurneys are also piled up against a wall, and there's medical crates that are kind of thrown around everywhere, turning what was just a fun red hallway in the original into a full-blown medical wing under siege in the remake. The hallway where the escape pods were being spawn-killed by the Covenant had, some windows here and there, but now it's been turned into some sort of leisurely lounge-like area with nice window-side seating. Could you imagine having a view like this, but not being shot at? I bet it would be really nice. Okay, on the Pillar of Autumn you got food, you got sitting, going to the doctor, and shooting at aliens. What else can a Marine do on this ship? Well, there's thankfully a calendar available, and if we take a look, the calendar's surprisingly clear. September 18th has some technical work and a meeting with Keyes scheduled. The 19th, which is on a Tuesday, has a pep talk with Johnson scheduled for 9 in the morning, and then Ship AI and You for 6 p.m. I assume that's not like a weird, creepy ChatGPT thing. I assume that's just, getting to know Cortana, because in the world of Halo, AI actually seemed genuinely cool and nice, mostly. Now, the one I'd be keen to attend is on the 30th of September, which is a Sergeant Johnson impersonation contest. We all have that friend that thinks they do a great Sergeant Johnson impression, so maybe they should put their money where their mouth is. Mark your calendars. September 30th is when I expect to see the community come together and crown a new Sergeant Johnson. But there's one other thing I wanted to share. So, in the original Halo, I always wondered what these little doorways led to. In my mind, I assumed that they were crew quarters, like bunks and stuff would be beyond these doors. But in Campaign Evolved, a single one is cracked open, revealing it's a bathroom. Toilets. Space toilets. Halo toilets. We've had Halo drinking fountains, but now we've got Halo toilets. You can't get into this room normally. Master Chief had too many of those Frank tacos, and now he's too obese to fit through the door. But if you were to find a way inside, we can see what innovations were made to the toilet 500 years in the future. What is this? It's like a shredder, but for poop? What's the poop being grinded for? Fuel for the ship? Where's the sink? The paper towels? A dead Marine can even be found right outside the bathroom. Maybe the Marine was in the process of shredding some poop when an elite grabbed him and pulled him out. What an awful way to go. Hey, sorry for the uploads lately. Been pretty busy, also been spending some time trying to wrangle my thoughts together about the remake. I'm probably going to end up making a larger review of the remake, but right now I do want to say that I am enjoying it. There's plenty of choices in the art, story, gameplay, characterization, that I disagree with creatively, but there's also some things that the remake does that I think are interesting. It's not perfect, and I wasn't expecting it to be as good as the original, so it kind of primed me to be okay with the things I dislike and enjoy the things that I do like. It's not the definitive way to play Halo 1. That would still be the original in my mind, and I don't think this remake has the charisma to make it culturally last as long as the original, but it is a new way to play the original, and there is some value in that, I think. The huge list of skulls combined with the difficulty sliders makes for a surprising amount of customization over the flow of combat, enemy aggressiveness, and my ability to tank or dish out damage. It's cool seeing Halo Infinite assets, designs, and models in a new engine that brings them to life in a way that Infinite kind of struggled with, and the new models made specifically for this remake are really cool to look at. Even to an extent, the reused assets, reused animations, all are very entertaining because it kind of feels like a sightseeing tour to me. It's like, hey, spot the reused asset. Why, that would be the Halo Infinite Battle Rifle melee animation. You can't fool me! I know what these are! So yeah, it's not the end of the world. Campaign Evolved is fun, but they changed the countdown beep again. When I played it last year, it was the Halo Infinite countdown beep. It seems they took some of the feedback to stop using that sound, but they didn't bring back the old one. They made a new shitty sounding beep beep boop. They brought back the Halo 2 SMG firing sound of all sounds. But for some reason, someone over at Xbox keeps wanting to change the countdown beep for Halo. Stop doing that. Stop trying to make the new beep beep boop happen. New beep beep boop isn't gonna happen. Bring it back. Bring back the original sound.